These men and women share a passion for hunting.
Yeah, I'm out all the time.
I've done it now for, about 20-some years.
But don't always agree on how to handle a growing deer herd.
Right, straight to the right.
The National Guard held Operation Sure Shot to help hunters sight their rifles and practice shooting, aiming for a season that's still days away. But next year it may come sooner if the proposal goes through to open deer hunting 1 week earlier.
I'm all for it.
More chances to take home a buck. Setting their sights on a deer population that's estimated to have grown 20% in the last 5 years. This second-year hunter supports the longer season.
That's the main reason why I believe in hunting, because the deer population is too high.
But can a longer season work if there are still protected areas? Chuck Schultz says no.
If you're out hunting, the first place deer is going to go on the posted land when he knows it's safe. And there's a lot of people around that don't want you on their land at all, and I can respect that. It's their land. But you can't really do anything when there's a safe place for them to go.
Others here worry the extra week would work too well, eliminating their prey.
I'm having a hard enough time finding deer, and, even first couple days.
After all, the target for every hunter is a successful season.
Just watching him play versus all the other people and keeping track of where he was in each board is beyond what I can do.
He's aggressive, he knows what he wants to do, he goes for it.
You have to think very, very rapidly. Sometimes you have to play more on instinct.
You make a move and he makes his move right away.
He started calling me the chess guru.
He seems to have that eye for seeing even what you're trying to do as you start to do it.
You let the queen sit there, you don't need to use it.
It's a lot of fun to watch him play everybody, see all the different styles.
You still have to go by impulse because you just don't have the time to analyze the variations.
It seems like he knows what you're doing right away when he looks at the board.
The knight is attacking the rook.
Just to be able to keep track of everything is incredible.
It's like a real adrenaline experience when you're really under the gun to try to make that attack work.
Wow.
Checkmate.
So I think it's a really good thing for this area.
Who understands delivery deadlines better than Santa?
I have a lot of help at the North Pole with the elves. They get things ready, put things in my bag, and they lay out the instructions on how to get to the places the fastest.
But few of us have a personal staff and delivery team. But the real North Pole secret, you don't have to be Santa to get your gifts under the tree on time.
Best thing to do is mail early in the day, early in the season.
The spokesperson for the Postal Service warns the mail volume triples during December, and clerks see plenty of procrastinators.
Some of them end up staying out there too long, and then when they finally come up here to the window, they're not ready.
That's why postal employees want to set you up for success this year.
Do you need delivery confirmation?
They advise have your forms filled out correctly, your package ready to go, and a correct address written clearly. Also, avoid the rush at lunch hour and right after work.
Is that going to be everything?
Ship early with first class or priority mail so you don't resort to costly express delivery.
Save yourself some money. Don't wait till the last minute. It's always a little bit more expensive when you're going to use the expedited services.
Grand total, $29.75.
This crew insists now is not too early to start your deliveries. After all, Santa's already working on his.
Don't procrastinate. Plan ahead.
In Harrisburg, Courtney Money, WHP CBS 21.
Hundreds of John Kerry supporters line up.
He's going to be the next president of the United States.
Some arriving more than 4 hours before the event.
I wanted to make sure I got in to see him.
The senator from Massachusetts did not disappoint, even stopping to greet those who couldn't get a seat inside the hall, where a receptive audience heard Kerry address a number of issues, including health care, jobs, the Iraq War, and what he calls distortions of his record by George W. Bush's campaign.
Biggest distortion of all is that John Kerry wants to raise taxes on Americans. I don't.
They came ready to vote for him. Some left ready to do more.
I love John Kerry. His face belongs on Mount Rushmore.
After the rally, I asked John Kerry what personal trait would serve him best as president. His response, experience.
Wages, health care, education, accessibility and affordability of college. These are things that I have worked on and fought for a long time. The president has ignored them.
And I asked how serious the vice presidential talk had gotten about Pennsylvania Governor Ed Rendell. Kerry would not comment on the VP search process, but did say,
I like his priorities, I like his agenda, and I like the way he fought to get where he is today, and I have great respect for him.
After a spirited exchange, the head of the state's Democratic Party says he's working to bring Senator Kerry back to Pennsylvania. A trip to Harrisburg could happen on April 16th. Reporting from Bethlehem Township, Chris Schaefer, WHP, CBS 21.
Not good, not great, the best. $200, $200, $225, going to be $225.
I was kind of introduced to the idea as a kid.
My whole family's been going to auctions all their lives. I've been coming for years.
I'm going to get 12 and 13.
I don't know what to expect.
I've been doing this 38 years, almost 40, and believe it or not, I'm still nervous.
Little butterflies. Get fine, start them, chocoholics.
I'm sure there's lots of techniques.
You want to move it along, but you also want to make your words understood to the buyer.
Good evening, I'm contestant number 6.
My dad, he went to a school down south for it, and the way they taught him that you would stick a cork in your mouth and your teeth and hold it, and they would make you say tongue twisters.
12 here, 12.
Cut out of number now with 13.
15, they're out, 15 big, 16 here. He practices all the time. Driving down the road, he just starts auctioneering.
It's evolved for me over the past 10 years. You kind of learn as you're going.
Number 61, number 61.
We'd like to think there's a lot of camaraderie between auctioneers.
It's just such a great business.
Welcome. 20 down above the 20.
Lucky 13. I know there's a lot of good auctioneers here. He's been in it many times, in a lot of second places and stuff, so I'm hoping he wins this year.
$15 there. Anybody bid now, anybody anywhere, anybody want to bid 15, but about 10.
When there seems to be fewer leaves on the trees than there are on the ground, it's about time to get those home fires burning.
I love winter myself.
And here's the man whose popularity climbs when winter approaches.
Lately, last couple of weeks, the phone's really been ringing off the hook.
Because Rick ventures where no homeowner dares.
I think last year was such a cold winter and long winter. And everybody used their chimneys very hard, their fireplaces and wood stoves. So I think now everybody's going to be cautious this year and have their chimneys cleaned.
Cleaned both the old-fashioned way.
My arms get pretty dirty.
And using newer methods, erasing the traces of past winters for the safety of the home and the people who live inside.
So if you get too much of a buildup on the walls of the flue, if you get a chimney fire inside the chimney, it could really do some damage.
But a visit from Rick once every 2 years can yield dazzling results. Now homeowner Stanley Atlin can rake in the benefits.
Well, we can't wait to have a fire. We love it.
So do others. That's why Rick sweeps up to 10 chimneys a day, warming us up to the idea of a cold winter. Carol Hahn, Eyewitness News.